Good morning, Tallahassee. It's time to wake up War Chant on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Here's WarChant.com's Aslan Hajavandi and Corey Clark.
Let's do it, man. It's Wake Up War Chant, 97.9 ESPN Radio. I'm Aslan. He's Corey. You already know that. It's game week. Corey, are you any more excited than you were 24 hours ago when we rendezvoused?
Getting there. Yeah, I think Thursday is when it'll really pick up with me. Like seeing, I know the games aren't any good, like Northwestern Purdue. I'm not going to watch that. But seeing that college football is on TV on a Thursday night, knowing we're right there, right at the cusp, that'll get me excited.
All right. Check it out, folks. If you're not part of the fam yet, this is probably like the last call, like for real. 50% discount, folks, for new annual subscribers. So if you're not part of the War Chant family, you want to see Corey or you want to hear Corey with, verbal flourishes of praise and joy and optimism, you're not going to get him here. You can get him on warchant.com. You can get him for 50% off. So, again, you'll get a full year, 50% off. How are they going to keep us on the payroll with this?
How are they going to keep the lights on with this kind of?
I don't know. Chill out over there, Gene. Golly, Gene Williams. Knoll 2018. That's your promo code. Knoll 2018. It's so good for real. It's going to end at midnight on Friday. So,
that's a 1 week offer. It's very, very limited. You better hop on it.
Yeah, so get on it. By midnight Friday, I think that means like 11:59 p.m. Thursday. Then the next minute it's done, right? Because that's technically Friday at midnight.
That's a very good.
We'll find out.
That's an astute observation, Aslan. I was thinking midnight Saturday.
Okay,
but that's a good. We probably need to clarify that. Either way. It ain't either of those right now. So as you're listening to this, pull over the car or get to a red light, or even while you're driving. I mean, you guys
you're
can
all text and drive. Stop lying. We know you all text and drive.
So sign up now on your phone. Don't wait until Friday or Saturday or whatever it is and risk missing it. Do it now.
Yeah. Sent out text messages to Marvin Jones and Peter Warwick. Marvin got back to me with a okay.
All right.
I was like, hey, man, thought you were going to come on the show to do a little publicity for your Sod Talk coming up. Just let me know what day works best for you. He's like, okay.
All right, so he's going to let us know.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, can you do it? I asked him if he could do it for Tuesday, and he never got back to me. So we're not going to have Marvin on the show today, nor Peter Warwick.
All right.
We will have both of them. We should sometime this week. We'll let you know when. On Thursday, we're going to have Mike Nazilik. I mean, I got to learn how to pronounce his name right, but he's the beat writer for the Roanoke Times-Dispatch, I think. Is that what the paper is called up there? But anyway, he's the beat guy for Virginia Tech.
Okay.
We'll have him on here so we can get you folks your full lather, football discussion. I did listen to a podcast that he and another guy in that newsroom did, and the guy that he co-hosted with say that he's preparing for Bud Foster. He's preparing for this to be the worst statistical defense at Virginia Tech of the decade.
Well, but I doubt that's a talent issue. It's again the experience issue. I don't know that he's ever had a defense with this little returning experience. Or the thing they would have been pretty good maybe they still might be. I don't know, but they lost so many guys from last year's defense, not just to the draft, but to grades, to injury, to transfer. So that's it's a tough task for them in an opener.
I think, you mentioned...
Much like I was talking about yesterday, how it's a tough task for Florida State to deal with a Bud Foster defense and a Fuente offense. The same can certainly be said for the other guys.
Right. I mean, you mentioned they have a defensive tackle that's coming off a knee injury that they hope to get 10 to 15 snaps off of. The guy that's going to start in his place, this guy, Jared Hewitt, he's actually from Venice, so Florida.
Not Italy. That would be a story.
That'd be really cool. But he's supposed to be some guy that's done a physical transformation this offseason. They're excited to see how he plays. And that Dax Dellenbach kid, I think that's his name. He's a linebacker.
The guy
that was the guy who's...
Yeah, he was a long snapper.
Oh, Hollyfield. I'm sorry. Dax Hollyfield. I apologize, everybody. Sorry, Recruit Nicks. Chill out. I fixed it. It's all fixed. It's done.
Right.
We're good. But otherwise, it's just funny to hear them talk about...
I think he was named after Dax Shepard? Can you imagine anybody's ever been named after Dak Shepard?
Is that the guy from Punk'd with Ashton Kutcher?
Well, he's married to Kristen Bell. Yeah, he's actually got a podcast. We'll get to football, folks. Trust me. He's got a podcast that can be pretty interesting at times because he gets A-list people on there because of his job and his wife. Show. But like Jason Bateman was on there, and I guess they were in a movie together. Jason Bateman and Kristen Bell, so he got her on there. Seth Rogen, people like that. It's an interesting look, and he's very open and honest about his past and the demons he had to.
Would you forget about
exercise.
Sarah Marshall if you had Mila Kunis?
Yeah, in a heartbeat.
See, I'm Kristen Bell over Mila Kunis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're weird.
I guess so.
That's another unpopular take from Aslan.
Whatever. So the news of the day from Monday, Florida State announced their starting quarterback. Willie Taggart announced who's going to be a starting quarterback on his birthday. He said it's going to be DeAndre Francois. Let Coach explain to us why it is ultimately going to be DeAndre Francois starting for Florida State September 3rd, Doak Campbell Stadium, 8 p.m., ABC.
I think when you watch the body of work in the short amount of time he's been out there and when he's in there and running the offense, it's a lot more efficient and a lot less mistakes. And I think that's important when playing the position.
I mean, pretty clear cut. My only thing is, and this is our guy, Terrell from McKinney, Texas, who brought up on the Renegade Express portion of the program last week. DeAndre Francois winning this job for his body of work, considering he was extremely limited in the spring football season. What does that say about who's leading the Florida State offense? I mean, does that mean that did Francois just wow him in the 15 practices that he's gone full go?
Or are the other two guys not
just simply never
yeah,
grabbed the bull by the horns?
That's the glass half empty, half full way to look at things. The one thing is that I think it would be more worrisome if Jimbo was still here and this guy had missed a year of football. And, they're all kind of learning the offense together. I know they had a spring, so they had a jump start. But it wasn't like they had a 2-year or 3-year head start on Francois. The guy still was out there in the spring and was still, theoretically learning how to run it, even though he wasn't full speed, obviously. So I don't think that stuff put them so much. Obviously, it did not put them so far ahead that they couldn't be caught. But again, I don't think that's a referendum on their ability. I think both those guys can play. I mean, we know Blackman can play, and I think Bailey Hawkman's a Division I quarterback too. So again, Francois is an interesting. The way the fan base views him is pretty darn interesting, man. I mean, he had a really when you step back and you look at the numbers after 2 years, especially, he had a good redshirt freshman season.
Very good 16.
He threw. I mean, he had 5 300-yard games. He threw for 3,300 yards. He accounted for 26 touchdowns, only 7 picks. While he was getting hammered a lot. Had big plays against, had bad plays, but had big plays against Michigan. Played pretty well against Florida. He had a good first half against Alabama. And maybe if they get that pass interference call right before the half, maybe things are different. He had 2 horrible throws in a row against Alabama where the game was still there for the taking. And did not play well in the second half. But, I mean, if we start judging quarterbacks by how they look against Alabama, then there aren't going to be a lot of really good quarterbacks in college football anyway. So I think there's a chance the guy's just a really good college football player. And he proved it in the last month. He's a good quarterback. He's not Jameis. There's not going to be another Jameis. But he's certainly that 2016 season, he had some really nice moments. Louisville was a disaster, but that was a disaster for everyone. North Carolina, he won that game. Clemson, I know Dalvin did a lot of that, but he was right there to win that game. In fact, if you remember, even after Clemson took the lead, didn't he complete like a 2nd and 26 or something after taking another sack? He hit Naquan for a big pass to get them down near field goal range, and then I think took 3 sacks in a row to end the game. But he proved he can play against really good competition.
Yeah,
right?
They were super close to being Clemson that season. For sure.
Yeah, if you take the crazy block on the legal block on Freddie Stevenson, they might win that game.
I liked it, actually. I thought they were in a good position. Even when Clemson took the lead, I'm like, okay, we're going to get the ball last year.
Yeah, and I do think that, was it Trey Marshall? Was he the one that got ejected? Yeah. One of the safeties got ejected in the fourth quarter, and then they just had no prayer with Clemson. And look, Deshaun Watson might have probably wins that game anyway, or at least puts them ahead anyway. But Francois never backed down, really, from the moment. He had a terrible pick against Michigan. That was a very good defense. But still threw for 2 touchdowns, including the game winner, because Naquan went up over the first-round pick. He never just shied away from the moment, man. There's a chance he's a really good college quarterback, and those other 2 guys just aren't as good as him right now. He's also in what is this going to be, his 4th year in the program?
Yeah, redshirt junior season.
So, I think it played out how it was supposed to.
I just find it interesting that we're talking about, I mean, I think less than body of work, that was the thing that kind of caught Ira's ear, Ira Schafeld, managing editor of WarChant.com. I mean, he said, made less mistakes, and that's what you need to do playing that position. I wonder if is that lining guys up? Is that not turning the ball over? Is that being more accurate? Less mistakes is a very sort of broad term. We'll probably get some clarity from that when we speak to Willie on Wednesday during
probably
his press
all that,
conference.
though, wouldn't you think? I mean, it all kind of goes into that.
Well, this is the thing. So, Ira, when he and I did a wrap-up after practice, he was saying that, listen, I think he might have even done it in his
video wrap-up?
Yeah.
Be honest. Ira's not listening to this. Who do you like working with more? Okay, thanks.
So in his 3-2-1, which is quite possibly the best piece of content that we put out there.
On a weekly basis.
Yes. I think he put in there is like, this is what I thought, and then this is Ira speaking, not me. I thought DeAndre gave the team the best chance to win, and, from the limited practice that we did see that were fully open, he, from day one, he outperformed Blackman and Hockman. Maybe not to a significant degree, but in his estimation, he outperformed him. And I remember that because I was uploading video on the first day of practice. Meanwhile, I think, Ira, Gene, and Jeff Cameron, 3 to 6 p.m. weekdays here on 97.9 ESPN Radio, were watching. I mean, they were doing some quick screen game sort of stuff while I was uploading video. And then when I came back, I was watching them do some deeper throws, and Blackman was pretty sharp in that drill. But they were like, man, Blackman was just throwing dirt balls. Like, he just not look good in that. I mean, is that what carried on the opinion from that point forward? But I mean, ultimately, it's his job now. And again, if it comes back to the fact that Florida State is not 7-6 last year if DeAndre Francois does not go down. Just refuse to believe it. And I'm not.
I agree 100% with
and I'm not putting all this on James Blackman's shoulders. The large part of my affinity for him is just I feel that he got put into a really bad situation, and this fan base did a really poor job of. I mean, I know, obviously kids don't care what's saying on message boards about it, but he got dogged. I mean, people were really hard on the kid.
On Francois?
No, on Blackman. I told him, listen, I mean, Blackman. What did you expect from the poor kid last year?
If DeAndre Francois had played in 2015 as a true freshman, they wouldn't have been 10-3 that year. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And those weren't even good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But it's just really. I mean, imagine that offense with that coach as a true freshman.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just hard to do. If Francois had been a freshman, a true freshman, either 15 or 16, those records aren't 10-3. You're going to lose a couple games when you're with that offense. When you don't, he didn't have his full arsenal. Jimbo didn't.
Right.
And it showed. I mean, it was an awful, awful offense. Now he did have Dalvin. Which was really nice. It's a nice person to have in the backfield with you. But yeah, man, they would have lost at least a game or two if he wasn't if he hadn't had a year in the system. It's just hard to be thrown into that fire.
For sure. All right, he was a redshirt candidate, we all thought. Now he might be the breakout guy of the 2018 season. We'll talk about that next right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Wake Up War Chant.
You're locked in to Wake Up War Chant on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Knoll 2018, folks. Use that promo code. Get 50% off if you're a new subscriber to warchant.com. Join the family, fam. I'm Aslan. He's Corey. It's 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Wake Up War Chant. It's game week. Tuesday. Excited. Knowles. Hokies. 8 o'clock. Doak Campbell Stadium. Peter Warwick. Being honored. We'll have him on the program later this week at some point, as well as Marvin Jones. As soon as we get those details, we will let you know. We will tweet it out, I'm sure. We'll mention it here on this very program. But do be on the lookout. And then, like I said, on Thursday we might do Renegade Express on Friday, possibly. Or maybe we'll save that, and we'll do that as part of our Monday show. That will kind of probably pre-tape.
I feel like we still haven't come to an agreement that we're going to have a Monday show. I feel like you're going to have to talk me into that. Or get a guest host.
Let's record it maybe Thursday night. Let's do Renegade Express. That way it won't be, if it's dated, it's dated, but it's people asking us questions. I think we got to give some people something to listen to on the way down on Mondays. Or not.
And everybody's here. Everybody's going to be here. It's Sunday night. They're going to be out.
Corey looking at me like I just got called up from the minors and he's Greg Maddux and I'm trying to tell him what to throw in the bottom of the ninth inning right now. I was like, what are you doing, kid?
Like, man, everybody's going to be in town. They're not going to be wanting to listen to us on Monday. They're going to be hungover.
All right, so Saturday was a big scrimmage. It was the final scrimmage. Asked Willie if that was something that kind of maybe cemented his, decision to pick DeAndre. It didn't sound like it was any sort of make or break situation for the team, but it wasn't. And it was a legitimate, full on out scrimmage. It wasn't situational stuff where we're going to start at the 20. It was up and down. I'm assuming probably 1s-on-1s, 2s-on-2, because that's kind of what Willie does, right? Willie hasn't shied away from the fact that he puts good on good.
But he also didn't have Akers. Didn't he say Akers didn't play?
Akers sat out.
Didn't play.
Also,
he
Brian
didn't mention
Burns.
LeBourne, but Burns didn't play.
Yeah.
So a lot of the good guys weren't playing anyway.
I think Aguayo told us that he had 3 extra points and maybe 2 field goals.
Okay,
I'd have to go back and listen to it. So they're moving the ball. That's kind of a encouraging thing. The first name that he said, and I don't even think we asked him for any standings. We just asked him how the scrimmage went. Anthony Grant, your boy from Buford, right?
The guy
that there's no room in this backfield. You are going to probably redshirt, or you're going to move to linebacker. And I mean, I think there's guys that Ira spoke to that are pretty connected to the program that pointed out after the first scrimmage they thought Anthony Grant looked phenomenal, and then after the second scrimmage, his head football coach is saying the same thing. I'll ask
how good,
you.
Think about how good. What if he does get a lot of carries this year? Say he gets 100. Which to me is a lot for a true freshman.
Yeah.
How good must he be? Because this backfield is loaded with NFL guys. And to come in, it's like in 13, I'm not saying this isn't the team that the 13 team was, but Jalen Ramsey coming into that backfield, I was like, man, he was an afterthought to me. They had so many guys, it was Darby and PJ and LaMarcus Joyner and Terrence Brooks. And all these guys,
Tyler Hunter,
Nick Wasom, and you might laugh at that, but Nick Wasom was a good cornerback and started for the entire 2012 season. And you're like, man, okay, good luck, man. Good luck trying to make I'm sure you'll get to play some, but you're not cracking this starting lineup. Nope, he just ends up being one of the best freshmen in the country. It didn't matter to him. He bullied his way into the starting lineup, and I don't think this kid's going to start, but man, his coach really likes him, and if he's on the field at all Monday night, how good must he be? How good must they think he is?
But what happens? Cam Akers busts off a 25-yard run. He needs a break. You bring in LeBourne, and LeBourne runs into the line and loses 2 yards.
Grant.
And then
get Grant in there.
But it's then you got Jock Patrick.
I know.
So I guess my question to you is, I mean, the fact that he's had 2 really good scrimmages. I know he's still a young guy. I'm sure we'll probably see him, a lot in the Samford game and things like that. But I mean, I don't know, how does he? I mean, how do you see him getting used? I mean,
I'm still
3 guys ahead of him,
yeah,
right?
and really good guys. And then there's Rasul, who isn't, he's not bad. So yeah, I mean, he came in as the 5th string running back. And is he going to play in front? I mean, is he worked his way into the rotation? I have a hard time believing that for the first game of a true freshman season against a team like this that he's going to play. But I do think when you're thinking about the future of this football program, well, man, now you've got a guy where you're like, okay, this is somebody that we need to start talking about as far as 2019, 2020. This guy, according to his head coach, looks like a game changer, like a real talent. That I don't know. They knew he was good when they got him. I think Florida State fans were happy. Wasn't that? I think that was almost a signing day surprise, right?
Yeah.
Like he was going to Tennessee or something.
No, I think Virginia Tech actually, believe it or not. And that's a team that has been really, really bad running the ball lately.
Yeah.
I mean, last several years. And, I mean, talk about addition by subtraction for Florida State in terms of the fact that he's not there. They're not going to have to play against him. He's on their side.
Yeah, that helps. But, yeah, you look forward to next year and the year after where you've got a guy like him, and then he's a guy that might be first off the tongue now instead of LeBourne or Terry, or he'll be up there with those guys when you're mentioning him because, man, apparently he is the truth. And most people are from Buford.
That's how it works, right? Don't fumble the ball though, right? So if you're ahead of him, that's how he moves up, right? I mean, if you make one fumble, then he will, just like that. I'm gonna slide right in. Don't mind me taking your job.
Hey man, work done. His freshman year was a 5th string running back, I think, at the time, and then Tiger McMillan got hurt. I think they thought about moving him to corner. He kind of came in as maybe he'll play corner, maybe he'll play running back, but they told him we'll give you a week at running back, and then Mickey never got him because he showed what he could do, and then by the middle of the season, he was the main offensive weapon in the backfield. Him and Sean Jackson.
Let me ask you this: he was ranked, Anthony Grant, as the 20th best athlete in the nation, according to Rivals.com. Do you think he'll do better than 19 people ahead of him?
Yeah, I mean, that's always a weird position, too. That's a weird
designation.
They're all athlete. Yeah, the designation that he's an athlete. That just means they don't know where he's going to play in college. It certainly seems like it. And remember, Willie was high on him on the signing day party because he was asked about him. He's like, no, he's a running back. We want the ball in his hands because people had talked about maybe he'd switch to running back or to linebacker. So We'll see, man. Well, did you get it?
I got one. This is another one that's coming. There's these gnats in my face, folks, and I keep trying to like Mr. Miyagi.
With chopsticks.
I have to do it gently so it doesn't clap my hand.
Clap. Yeah, I got you.
Which is
it's
tough.
hard to do that. By the way, I don't think I've told this story. So when we were in Bradenton, speaking of bugs, we were in Bradenton for their IMG practices. I went out with the esteemed Tim Linnefelt from Seminoles.com to the cool brewery place they have there, and I actually had to drink craft beer because they didn't have Mick Ultra, so I got the closest thing to it. But anyway,
and it wasn't even remotely close, was it?
When
you go to those, was it?
No, it was not.
I hate when you're like, listen, man, I just like Coors. Like, give me something that's close to Coors. Oh yeah, drink our
your blonde ale or blonde ale.
Our lager is so similar. And no, it's not, man.
My stomach's all
what
not. My stomach's not used to that kind of beer. But anyway, Tim goes. We're just sitting there in the middle of the bar, and Tim goes, "Oh man, turn your face real quick. Turn your face." And I turn my face real quick. And he proceeds to smack the tar out of my face. As hard as Tim Linnefelt can probably move his arm to smack my face because there was a bug on it. And so I go, man, what the?
Are you serious?
And he goes, yeah, look,
way.
man, I got it. And there was a bug with blood on it. He had a bug and blood on his hand. He's like, look, I got it. I'm like, man, tell me to brush the bug off my face.
Tim, that's inappropriate.
That's what I told him. He's like, but I got it. I'm like, yeah, man, great. I could have just wiped my face. Did you get it? It was that. Yeah. But also, Tim Linnefeld's no offense, Tim. He doesn't listen to this
thicker
show.
hand.
He's not maybe the most coordinated person.
Okay. So
he couldn't, like some people could maybe hit quick and not hit hard. Like just a real quick.
Right. Tap.
No, he had to have all his weight in it. But he couldn't just hit me with his fingertips. So he smacked the tar out of me. So I kicked him in the balls. I saw a bug on his pants. What was I going to do?
Why would he do that?
It was really awful.
He's a grown man. He's got a wife and a mortgage
I know.
and stuff.
A fence, dog. Yeah, a dog and a cat.
All right. Hey, let's step aside for a minute here. We'll come back, and we're going to bring things down to earth a little bit. There was a lot of good to talk about from the scrimmage, but there's some stuff that, I don't know, at what point do we just kind of ignore it, and at what point do we face it on and admit that there's going to be a couple question marks and concerns going into the game against Virginia Tech. We'll talk about that next right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Wake Up War Chant.
WarChant.com is the ultimate inside source for FSU football and recruiting. And now you can get in on the action for free for an entire month. WarChant.com is offering a risk-free 30-day trial subscription. Get full access to the #1 website covering the Seminoles just by entering the promo code WarChant30. That's WarChant30. Sign up and get in on the world's most active FSU message boards. Receive breaking news, stories from our award-winning staff, plus get exclusive interviews and videos. Just enter the promo code WarChant30. WarChant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source.
Wake up! 97.9 ESPN Radio. I'm Aslan. He is Corey. It is Wake Up War Chant. Again, folks, we're going to talk about it at the beginning of every segment the rest of the week. 50% off. New subscribers. Knoll 2018. Taggart era. 50% off. Do it. Read all of Corey's premium stuff. You think Corey's so fantastic on the radio? He is. Just imagine when he actually can think and take some time.
It's not just
craft.
straight off the baldness. Yeah. I actually get time to think about what I'm typing.
You can read Ira's 3-2-1. He makes 3 observations, asks 2 questions, and then makes a prediction. Mm-hmm. I want to know what Ira's prediction is.
Yeah.
You can know it, too. You don't have to pay full price. So
you would say you're obviously an objective bystander. You're an objective voice on this matter, but you would say that Ira and I are probably the 2 strongest writers on the beat, right?
For sure.
Certainly the most grizzled, along with Gene, who's been here longer than anyone.
Yeah.
That in itself.
Well, Joe Reedy. Joe Reedy's kind of grizzled.
He's gone. He's in San Diego. He's going to. He got a new job. So that what else could you want? 3 guys. I've been here since 07. I've been here since 07, folks, and I'm the new guy on the staff.
Yeah.
You're the new guy, but actually, me and you were about the same time.
I'm not an esteemed voice on the side. I'm just the.
But
video
I'm about to start my 11th Florida State football season, and I'm still way behind the other 2 guys. So that's the kind of institutional knowledge you get at War Chant.
Yeah, the whole time we're sitting here trying to create some sort of quarterback controversy, Ira's just kind of laughing at it like it's going to probably be Francois. And I'm like, whatever, you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he was right. You were wrong.
He was right.
Weird.
I know. All right, let's talk about the the gloomier side of things. I don't know, gloomier is probably not the right word, but listen, there's a lot of talent on this team. The guys behind that talent are pretty talented themselves, but they're very unproven. And little bit, I don't know, at what point do we start becoming concerned that the guy that was it was a consensus top 10 guy on the preseason list for you, Ira, Gene Williams, and Jeff Cameron, 3 to 6 p.m. right here, 97.9 ESPN Radio. At what point, I mean, can we really, I don't know, Josh Kando, we don't know his status. I mean, Josh Kando's a guy that wasn't participating on Monday when we were out there. He's got 6 more days to get himself right. I'm not counting the guy out, but that's kind of a cause for concern. The linebacker spot, Dontavius Jackson, is a guy that I would imagine is one of your 3 best linebackers.
Yeah.
And then Stanford Samuels, that was what made to me the back end so intriguing, was that, I mean, he's a guy that he's going to be pretty much your nickel back. I mean, he's the 5th cornerback or the 5th defensive back on the field. And that guy, he's not going to be there. And with his range, his size, his speed.
It doesn't sound like he'll be there.
Yeah.
Really didn't seem all that. He seemed much more confident in Dontavius than he did Stanford Samuels.
Yeah. I mean, now those guys can be back maybe week 3, week 4. I mean, do they have enough horses to hang with Virginia Tech and beat them? Absolutely. But it's, I mean, golly, man. I mean, I don't know. There's just, I mean, Brian Burns, for as great as he was and has been this whole preseason, we saw him get put on his keister by Brady Scott. I mean, Brady Scott's a 3rd-string offensive lineman. When it comes to, and it was an Oklahoma drill. It's not a pass rusher's sort of time to shine.
Yeah, there's a very small area they can move.
Yeah. So I mean, Brian Burns is going to be just fine. But I mean, there's some spots there. I mean, the defensive end spot opposite him, and then the back end is going to have some, guys that are, for the first time really being counted and depended on. I just don't know how explosive Virginia Tech's offense is to fear them, but it's a cause for concern.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about with, Kendo, even if he plays, you can't imagine he's going to be full speed, fully healthy. So that's not great. Same with Jackson, you would think, at linebacker. And then Samuels, if he just sounds, listen to Willie, he doesn't seem all that confident that Samuels will be out there. And if he is, maybe it's in a limited role. He won't be full speed too. So
I think it's his hand, though, right? I think the last time we saw him had a brace on his hand.
Oh, really?
I think.
Well, man, come on, you can pick them off with one hand.
The
way they make these gloves now.
I don't know if it was a knee thing. Don't quote me on that. I probably shouldn't even have said that, but continue with your.
But yeah, so there's a chance this defense by October is going to look much different than the one that we're going to see on Monday night. Because I think they think Kando has a chance to be special, but nobody's special if they're going to 60% or 70% or whatever he might be. So it might be a Wally Amy joint.
Ame,
Wolverine. It might be a Wolverine.
Ira's not even trying anymore. I was driving around town and heard him on Cameron, and he's just not. He's like Amy. Yeah, it could be Amy on the opposite side. I'm like, just try Ira.
I don't know.
Low
why,
5-star. We're moving to low 5-star.
I don't just stick with Wolverine.
He said it was okay. I asked him personally to his face, can we call you Wolverine? He's like, that's cool.
All right, good.
Well, he doesn't want to be called Wally, though. Don't call him Wally.
I'm not calling him Wally. We'll call him Wolverine. Yeah. So you got him. I guess the Briggs kid they like a lot too.
Oh, I know, but come on, really? I mean, he could be a great player, but I don't know. I mean, he maybe pass rush guy. I don't know how much you're expecting a true freshman to take on.
Yeah, I think in a 3rd down role, but also think you're going to be using those linebackers a lot coming off the edge too. An extra linebacker to rush.
That's supposed to make me feel good.
Hey man, I'm not here to make you feel good. I mean, think about what if there was a Hokies wake up Hokies.
Yeah.
What would they be? Blah, 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 blah. If they had that, I guess they could actually just use turkey noises.
Yeah.
What are they talking about? They're certainly not fired up about to see their defense. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They have issues too. Florida State, has more talent than Virginia Tech on defense, and they're both inexperienced, but Florida State has a better defense. And I would say Virginia Tech, as crazy it is, probably has even more question marks on that side of the ball than Florida State does. So,
but their defense isn't playing our defense, I mean,
no, but I'm saying everybody going into a season has these questions,
right,
and concerns, except for the people in Tuscaloosa. They just reload. But other than that,
no one likes you guys. So whatever, you might have a good football. But listen, nobody likes you.
Zero people.
Nobody.
0 people. It was a lot cooler in the early 2000s when you were a joke.
Yeah.
Anyway. So I do think that when you look at it from that perspective, like, man, everybody has issues. Yeah, I know it sucks that Samuels is out or probably out or hurt, and some of these other guys might be slowed, but that's every college football team. you still should have better backups at those positions, guys. And you do have guys that can play, especially if Samuels have been moved to safety. You have guys that have played before that have some experience.
Yeah, A.J. Westbrook, I would imagine, is probably the first guy you would turn to, or the three, sort of safeties that you would have, it would be some sort of combination of Fagan, Hamza, and then probably A.J. Westbrook. A.J. Westbrook, I mean, is he not a senior? I mean, he's at least a junior. I mean, I feel like he's been here forever.
And, I mean, according to them, Kane-Doe is kind of Burns' backup anyway. Like, Kane-Doe is the flash along with Burns.
Yeah.
So how much was he going to play if Burns is the starter? The other side, I think it's either Wolverine or Janarius Robinson. Yeah. And they really seem to like what they've seen out of Janarius Robinson. So, I wonder about Marvin Wilson too, how he's going to be. There are question marks, and I get it, but every team has them right now.
Do you see my guy eat last night though, or yesterday morning?
No.
The clip of Marvin Wilson.
Oh, did he get after it?
Oh, yeah. We won't say the guy's name just because we don't want to hurt people.
Well, you just said Brian Burns' name.
Yeah.
Was it Brady Scott?
It was not Brady Scott.
Okay, well, that's fine.
But he put somebody on their back end, and then he got up, and helmet flipped off, and he was jumping around. Harlan Barnett ran over to him, like horse-collared him, and was giddy up, galloping on his back. I mean, listen.
Similar scenes that we saw last year.
Marvin was, right. I can only imagine, you need to look at that clip when we come back from commercial break. We'll also get clarity on when the promo ends, but that's a guy that's fired up for the season to go. And that's, for all the gloom of this segment here, I think the real positive, at least what we've kind of gleaned out of what Willie has said is, Marvin participated, it sounded like in a good bit of the scrimmage.
Good.
And that was a guy I think that, 3 weeks ago, we were anticipating probably not going against Virginia Tech. So the fact that he's able to play more snaps and was out there just absolutely wreaking havoc on Monday. Yeah, you might not have Kane-Doe, you might not have Samuels, but I mean, DeMarcus Christmas is going to get stuff done. It might not be flashy, but he's going to get his job and he's going to handle it. And I think Marvin Wilson, if he's fine, then and then Burns, 3 out of 4.
Yeah,
I don't know the Meatloaf song, but that's close.
And 3 out of 4 ain't bad. And I wonder who's going to be the starter on that other defensive end spot. I think it'll be Robinson, honestly.
I would think so as well.
But Wolverine's going to play a lot, and he's proven to be a good football player, and he is a lot different looking. Like he says he's lost 30 pounds, and you can see it. He moves different. He just looks different. He looks like a defensive end now, which is fitting because that's what he is.
All right, let's get some clarity on when this promo expires. That's the word I was looking for. And then I'll show you the clip about not Brian Burns, Marvin Wilson. Let's go to break. Regroup, Aslan. Work on your game. We'll be right back. It's Wake Up War Chant 97.9 ESPN Radio.
You're locked in to Wake Up War Chant on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Look, shorty got back. Should I ask her for a dance? Hold on, there's too many in the wolf pack.
All right, you were right, Corey. Confirmed with the boss. Promo is good for the entire day of Friday, so when you wake up Saturday, folks, it'll have passed you by.
Yeah, and again, why would you even procrastinate till Friday? Yeah. Why even wait till tomorrow? I mean, you're listening to my voice right now. Do it.
Knoll 2018, 50% off new subscribers, year subscription to warchant.com. All right, Corey, did you see the video?
I did, yeah.
All right, so what happens if that would have happened last year?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I assume Jimbo would have yelled at Anthony Grant for getting tackled. I'm sure the quarterback maybe took the snap wrong, too. Probably turned the wrong way. And, no, more than anything, there certainly wouldn't have been that kind of excitement from the coaching staff and the other players. There just wouldn't have been. It would have been more of a in I have to couch this and qualify it every time. That doesn't mean that this is the right way and Jimbo's is the wrong way.
Yeah.
Jimbo's won a national title. Willie Taggart hasn't. Like, Jimbo's way worked and can probably work again. It had stopped working here. So, but that doesn't mean it can't work again, and that doesn't mean that Willie's got all the answers and Jimbo had none. The guy won a national championship and had one of the best teams in college football history and won 29 in a row. We got it. He did awesome things. But it is a completely different atmosphere out there at practice. But you know what? If they don't win, nobody's going to care.
All right, here's the thing. So that might be one of the things that we have to get used to, right? Just guys being happy,
excited,
demonstrative,
trying to make it fun out there.
All right, here's maybe another thing that we need to be possibly prepared for.
Oh boy, no more gloom.
No.
Oh, okay.
Freshman wide receivers are going to maybe be all right.
Okay.
He mentioned Warren Thompson was one of the guys that stood out. I mean, think about it. The guy who caught the game.
I feel like he actually called him Warren Thomas.
He did. Now,
which I think is a good play on his part. Like, hey man, I saw you, but you're not that good enough that I can remember your last name. Playing that, when you like when a girl might be interested in you, and you're like, oh, I'll see you later, Becky. When her name is Beatrice,
you can't call him Becky. Becky, I think.
Well, they probably wouldn't like that. Yeah. But if you don't show them, you don't want to be over the top affectionate right away.
Correct.
You want to have a little bit of a distance. Yeah. So I think that's what Willie's doing. He doesn't want Warren to know how much he likes him. So he intentionally called him by the wrong last name to be like, don't get too big ahead, man.
What about Bird? Can I call her my Bird?
No, again, no.
You don't like that one?
No.
Our friend from is it Ashburn, where Pokey and Tamorin are from? He said C691027.
Turner County, right? Turner County?
Yeah. I said my boo. Ladies like cat and puppy soft names. That's what he said.
Cat and puppy soft?
Yeah, I guess like my boo. But I don't want.
Oh,
I don't
all
want
right.
to say my boo.
I was going to say my kid. You could call her McKitty. She could be your McKitty.
Here, McKitty. Oh, that'd be kind of weird. All right, so yeah, I mean, we need to reprogram the way we think and look at almost everything with Willie, right? I mean, let's go right to the point here with freshman wide receivers. The guy who caught the game-winning touchdown in the national championship game last year was a true freshman.
Yep. Who was on the field in that moment.
Yeah.
And didn't they have a true freshman catch like the game winner against, who were they losing? Mississippi State or somebody?
Same guy.
Was it the same guy?
Yeah.
But he's on the field. That's the middle of the season. Like the Georgia game was the 14th game of the season. But that Mississippi State game is game 5 or 6 or whatever it was, and that guy's still on the field in that moment.
That guy, Devontae Smith, was the 6th ranked or top ranked wide receiver in the nation. The number 5 guy was DJ Matthews.
Okay, well, there you go.
Put you there. The year prior, 2016, some of the standout guys that were freshmen, Nate Craig Myers, and that didn't really work out for him. But A.J. Brown and DeKalen Metcalf, who both went to Ole Miss, and they're both like All-American candidates. I mean, A.J. Brown might be one of the, if you play fantasy college football, which I think is weird, but it's fine, draft that guy because he's probably going to need a whole bunch of yards and a whole bunch of touchdowns. And these offenses, and listen, I know I just mentioned Alabama prior to that, and I'm just talking here about guys from Ole Miss. I mean, those are spreadish. Yeah. I mean, at least Ole Miss is for sure. I mean, that they fit the sort of blue.
Got some spread in them too.
Yeah, I mean, they fit the principles of what Willie wants to run. So it could be. I think we just got to. There's so many things that fans are going to have to sort of like reprogram themselves.
You don't have to be Rashad Green to get on the field as a true freshman anymore. Rashad Green was one of the best in school history and was the quickest to adapt. One of the quickest to adapt. Really smart. You don't have to be necessarily that guy to get on the field. You don't. That's the beauty of this thing, and it's going to help in recruiting, quite frankly. Because think about how easy it would be to recruit against Jimbo. Not easy, but if you're both going after the same wide receiver, and you're Alabama, and you're going up against him at Florida State, even though Alabama never throws, they had Jalen Hurts as their quarterback who can't throw, and they're not much of a throwing team anyway. Although they do some spread stuff. Say, look, man, look what we did with Julio as a freshman, and Calvin Ridley as a freshman, and Amari Cooper as a freshman. You could be that guy. Who do you point to at Florida State's team and say that's who you can be? Nobody.
And you're not even going to go to the league, probably.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you get drafted,
unless you're 6'5", 235 pounds, and run like a 4.6 40.
Yeah, that was it. And then on Tate with the third to last pick in the entire draft,
hanging on by a thread. Yeah, it's just crazy.
So, that's another thing you'll have to get used to. They will play a freshman wide receiver, probably multiple, on Monday night, which will be crazy to see.
I know this isn't, wake up Tide. Can you believe that they released their depth chart and they didn't signify if it's going to be Tua Tagovailoa or Jalen Hurts as the starting quarterback?
I mean, yeah, sure.
There's no way it's not the guy from Hawaii.
Of course it's not, but Saban's going to do what Saban does.
Yeah,
he has such disdain for the media. Did you get it?
I don't think so. Sorry, everybody. There's a lot.
Yeah, there's one on this side of the glass too. What's going on over here? Let's get it together, gang.
Might as well just do it outside.
Yeah, geez, really, and have a picnic or something while we're doing it with all these things flying over us. But yeah, man, Saban just has disdain for the media. Doesn't care if his fans know who the starter is. Just he does it his way and it works. So whatever, keep at it.
What are you going to look for?
I want to see how many oars are on the depth chart for Willie.
Okay. I think Wednesday will probably get that.
Wednesday or Thursday, right? But how many oars is he going to throw on that bad boy? Because that's pretty annoying.
I don't think we'll see any of them.
I think you'll see a couple. I think there might be some that they're still not maybe 100% even sure who the starter is going to be, depending on injury or whatnot. But you'll see some. I just hope we don't see 12 of them because it makes a mockery of. Quite honestly, it's a mockery to your fans. Your fans care, man. They want to know. You think I care?
They just want to know what jerseys they're wearing. They don't care about the depth chart.
So I mean, they do care. They want to know who's playing well, and they want to know. So let them into it. Again, this isn't state secret stuff.
What do you want me to look for at practice later today?
I want to obviously who's participating and who isn't.
Okay. There's no interviews today, folks, so we can't ask any questions, but we can look for some stuff.
And how Logan Tyler's hitting the ball.
Okay. Some stuff here from Willie's call-in show, which is no longer a call-in show. It's just a talk show. Some just things real quickly here.
What does that mean? Isn't it the same thing?
Well, I don't think there's
people don't call in.
There's no call-in, so I think if you're going to ask him a question, you actually have to show up to the 4 Points Sheraton.
So the one so the one on Monday night was the first one since the loyalty. Where's your loyalty, Jimbo? Odell never had one, did he?
I don't think so.
All right, yeah. How about that? A little interesting vibe, I bet.
We're Florida State. We're unconquered. It's a family. All right. Basically, here's some real quick things in case you guys wondered if you didn't get to see it. Said that the offense was smooth, quote, smooth when DeAndre was in there. He does a good job of taking care of the football. All right, so there's maybe some sort of answer that we posed a question to earlier in the program. On the scrimmage, said that the offense was sharp early. The defense started asserting itself in the second quarter. On Francois, he said that he was very impressed by the preparation that he showed mentally for camp after missing spring. Said it showed how hard he had worked. And as for Mickey, what's Mickey going to do, right? How many plays is Mickey going to call in? How many times is he going to interrupt Harlan Barnett? I got this.
What did he say?
He said that Mickey's helping the staff any way that he can. Staff and players, not just the defense. Willie said that everybody in that room can learn something from him. He likes having that kind of guy to bounce things off of. Mickey brings him notes after every practice. Mickey was out there yesterday.
Be on game day.
Yeah.
Is he going to be on the sidelines? Is he going to be up in the box? Is he going to be in the stands? Where's old Mickey, Champions Club? Where's Mickey going to be on game day?
I would imagine probably the field.
You think so?
I think so.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. They might want his eyes up in the booth.
Could be. Anywhere he's going to be at is fine by you and I think, right?
Yeah, he can wear his national championship rings.
Bam, get you some. All right, good stuff. Appreciate y'all for being here. It's game week. We're gonna get better tomorrow. That's what we're doing, man. We're to steal the metaphor from Jeff. We're just a storm. We're
ascending right now though,
yes.
But we're not going straight. We're not like a space shuttle going straight up.
Right.
It's a degree. It's like 20 degree going up in the air.
But be ready, folks. We're bringing it.
By Friday, we're going to be sky high.
You do it as well. Have a great day if you want to, everybody. He's Corey Maslon. Thanks for listening to Wake Up War Chant. Jeff Cameron coming up right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio at 3 p.m.
Darn pop-ups and video ads.
Are you wasting your time again on clickbait FSU updates that are bloated down with ads?
Yeah. And after crashing my computer, the information isn't even up to date. You're on warchant.com. What's really going on with the Seminoles?
For the real scoop, you'll need to get your own War Chant subscription.
What's it cost?
Free. There's a 30-day trial offer right now.
You know I like free. Sign me up.
Use the promo code WARCHANT30. That's WARCHANT30. Nobody has more accurate and timely information on the Noles than warchant.com.
Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole source.